let's go to the first little bit of content here. And everybody see the creativity study slide there? So
Yes.
In the early 80s, late 70s, I think it was Land who created a creativity assessment for NASA. And all their rocket scientists and engineers took this, and it was about how to come up, how good were they at coming up with novel solutions in that creativity side. And it worked really well for NASA. Well, Land and Jarman got together in 93 and got a whole bunch of kids to take the same test, the same creativity thing. It was, let me see, what's the number? 1,600 kids, 4 and 5-year-olds took this test. What do you think the 4 and 5-year-olds scored? Any thoughts? Say it out loud or put it in the chat. What do you think?
They scored the highest.
Hi, yeah.
Give me a percentage.
95%.
Yeah.
95?
At
Any other
least.
guesses? What? Okay. This is what the 5-year-olds scored. 98%. Now, that was really interesting. They thought, oh my gosh, look at this. And then they decided to turn it into a longitudinal study. So they followed these kids. And when they turned 10, any guesses on what they scored?
It dropped, and probably to somewhere around 75%.
75, 78.
75? Others? Anybody else?
78.
65?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeannie's at 65. I feel like I'm doing an auction here. Negative auction. Well, get this. This is what the 10-year-old scored.
Oh.
30%. All right. Wow. Now we're going to go. Give me your thoughts on the 15-year-olds. Think about what's happening to in a 15-year-old's life. What do you think they're going to score?
Maybe higher.
They're exploring their independence and trying to find themselves essentially at that age in adolescence.
55%, let's say. 55.
I think it might go up a little bit.
You think it goes up a little bit? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also trying to fit in and do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
True.
So risks, they might be risk averse.
Well,
12%. So again, when they reached adulthood, they did that same thing. What do you think adults scored? The typical adults, because they did it with the rocket scientists, and they got a good sampling because that was their kind of the creative problem solving piece. But average adults, what do you think?
5%.
5%?
Yeah.
Or less.
Or less. Okay. Well, this is what happened at the other at 98 as kids, 2% as adults.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
What did the scientists get? What did the engineers get?
I've heard different things because it was more like an individual kind of aptitude thing. I think they used it as a screener, but I think at one time I heard that they did it for like the astronauts, people going into space, and they were looking at like a 90% threshold for the creative problem solving. But again, I'm guessing that those are like, it's reminiscent for me. So
interesting.